Welcome back, everyone. First off, I want to say that this is probably not going to be very deeply edited. This is just going to be kind of a quick rambling type video. That being said, it's 7:15 in the morning, and my neighbors upstairs are starting to wake up, and so you might hear them walking around. I'm also dog sitting right now too, so that dog might make some noise too. But this is going to be a kind of a short video. Like I said, I'm just going to ramble on a little bit about some problems I'm having doing certain reviews on certain genres of games. So, let me preface this by saying the purpose of this channel is for information, right? It's for information on the games that I play on the Xbox, as well as preservation. Because a lot of reviews don't exist anymore, or were just text form. So it's good to have these around for people that might be interested in collecting or things like that, or maybe they just want to know what specific games are good. That being said, when I make a review, when I pick a game that I'm planning on going to review or that I have interest in, I first go through my channel and figure out what kind of genre do I want to do, because I try to keep it fairly diverse. I don't want to end up doing 5 FPSs in the same go or 3 RPGs. I don't even want 2 FPSs in one go at all. I want to keep everything different. That way, it kind of diversifies it for everyone that might have different interests. But there are 2 different genres that I have problems when it comes to definitely reviewing, and it's evident by the channel right now. And that's horror games and fighting games. So horror games similar to like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Fatal Frame, and fighting games like Street Fighter, Soul Calibur, and Dead or Alive. Things like that. I want to cover both of those and the problems that I'm having with them. So we'll start with horror games because I think I can kind of narrow that down quicker. I am not a horror fan at all. I don't like horror movies. I don't like horror games. I don't like horror stories. I just don't. I'm not a kind of person that likes to deal with that kind of stuff. In special occasions, I can deal with horror when it comes to certain movies. 2 examples between a movie and a game. I can deal with horror when it comes to like suspense. So one of my favorite horror movies is The Shining. There's no jump scares that I can recall off the top of my head. It's been a while, but it's all just kind of suspense and eerie and creepy. That's a really good horror movie. I like that a lot. So that's nice. But when you come to like Doom 3, it's a ton of jump scares. So that's my main reason that I don't like horror, is jump scares. The only reason I can finish Doom 3 is because they do it so often that you just kind of become desensitized to it, and that's like the only startle you get throughout the whole game. So every door you go through, every corner you take, you just expect it, so it doesn't really bother you after the first hour of gameplay. But that being said, most horror games revolve around jump scares. And I hate being jump scared. I do. I don't like modern horror movies because that's all they do. It's modern. Everything is a jump scare. And I can't stand that. So it makes it really hard to play a horror game. It's very stressful. And I hate it because I can't sit through it. I can't. I've tried. I've tried playing horror games, and I stop after about 45 minutes. About once I start to really get into it and the horror starts to come, then I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'll pick it up in a day or 2, and then I just never pick it up again. So that's a problem I'm having with that type of genre. I can't get through it. I could maybe get through like a half an hour to an hour tops once per day, but most likely it'd be like once per week, and then that would take a year to do a review. But so that's one reason I haven't done horror yet. If you are a horror fan, I don't know how to overcome that, and figuring out how to get it done. It's just me. I don't have anybody near me or living by that that could help with this that particularly likes horror. And I'm the only one that does it. So, yeah. The second one is a bit more difficult, and it is fighting games. And my main problem with fighting games is that I'm disinterested with fighting games and as a whole. A little brief history. I haven't played that many in my lifetime. I think the first one I can recall was probably Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo when I was a kid. That being said, I've also played the original Mortal Kombats, like 1, 2, and 3. I think I played Mortal Kombat Deception, which I put that on the channel. And I've played Tekken. I remember playing that on the PlayStation. I think it was the PlayStation. I can't recall. But basically, I kind of skipped a generation. I went from the PlayStation, and that was like around Tekken and Mortal Kombat, and I skipped almost all of the Xbox for fighting games. I played a little bit of Mortal Kombat at a friend's house, but that was about it. It wasn't until 360 came out that I got Dead or Alive 4, and I fell in love with Dead or Alive 4. That was finally the first fighting game that I understood, I could do reasonably well in, and I could get the mechanics down. That being said, I still was only probably average to maybe slightly above average. So I wasn't that good. There's problems that I have with fighting games, and that's because I'm not good at them to begin with. I don't know if it's mental capacity to just micromanage everything and seeing it as it happens. So I can't really process that quickly. But the other thing is, I guess I should say the main reason that I haven't done fighting games is not because I'm disinterested, and it's not because I'm bad at them. It's because I don't know what makes a good fighting game. I mean, really, what makes it good? Because they all have different control styles, and they all have different, characters and everything else. Like, Mortal Kombat is pretty different from Dead or Alive, just as Dead or Alive is vastly different from Street Fighter. I can see how they'd be good, kind of, the popular ones at least, but there's other ones out there that I'm sure I haven't run across yet that could be either bad or good, but I wouldn't know. I don't know how to tell if it's a good fighting game or not. So it kind of adds this additional challenge. Like, I can play an RPG. I love RPGs. I like action games. I can play them, and I can say, hey, the controls are kind of crap, the camera sucked, the story was garbage, whatever. But with fighting games, there's so many different styles of control. There's not like a standard like other similar RPGs, right? So I don't know how to write a review in that sense. Now, some things I like to do in my reviews is I like to try and give two different sides, right? The review mainly goes around my opinion of said game. So it's if I liked it or if I didn't. But I will also try to be a little bit unbiased and kind of pick apart my own things that I know that I don't like, but other people will. So I'll add that into the review. That being said, I don't really know, since I don't like fighting games, it's one of those things where I don't know how to handle. If I don't like any of them, I can't really make a review. I can kind of be objective, but I still don't know what makes a fighting game good, so I don't know how to be objective. Now, an alternative would be to scour the internet, right? And say I look up Soul Calibur, right? Soul Calibur is popular. I know it's popular. I've heard people talk about it. I've seen people play it. There's a fan base around it. They love that game. So I'm assuming it's a good fighting game. But I've tried playing it and I'm not interested in it. Now, I could look up other reviews and I could look up comments and things like that and kind of compile the information together to make a review, right? And see, take bits and pieces from around the internet and make a full review. But I don't really want to do that because that's not me. That's just me using sources. And I'd rather, every review is supposed to be something from me. So those are my problems right now. I'm not a horror fan, so it's hard for me to get through a horror game. And I have nothing against fighting games. I just don't really know what makes them good or bad. Like, I really don't. How do you define what's a bad horror game? You know, how do I define that you should pick up Dead or Alive versus Mortal Kombat, or Soul Calibur versus Mortal Kombat, or, you know, things like that? What is it? SNK and Capcom. That's one of them. I don't have that yet, but if I did, it would, you know, how do I define, is that better than or equal to Dead or Alive? I don't know. What makes it good? What makes it bad? I have no idea. Anyways, this video went on quite a bit longer than I actually thought it was. It was about 11 minutes now, so we'll go ahead and end it here. Maybe you guys have some advice. Give me some hints or tips or something like that. I've even thought about, you know, taking on, maybe at some point, having other people that like fighting games contract some work and make a video. That would be something I'm interested in. Maybe, I don't know, similar to horror games as well, if somebody likes horror games, but that's just an idea, and I'm not even sure I want to do that. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Yeah, guys, I'll see you next time.